Oh! Sparta was located in southern Greece on the Peloponnesian Peninsula. Politically, Sparta was organized as an oligarchy. This led to have the military power be the number one priority in Sparta. Now, let's take a closer look at Sparta as a whole.
Now, the city-state of Sparta was located on the Peloponnese Peninsula in southern Greece. This terrain was that of a rocky origin and was poor for growing crops. Now, being that Sparta was an inland civilization, they had a poor overseas trade, and this impacted their economy greatly. Their navy also was hurt from this.
The area around the city-state of Sparta, the plateau east of the Taygetos Mountains, is often referred to as Laconia. This term is sometimes used to refer to all of the land under direct control of Sparta, including Messenia.
Oh! Sparta's version of an oligarchy contained of three main components. One being prestigious military leaders that also served as religious heads of state called kings. The other two were 28 men that served over the age of 65. The other was 5 annually elected magistrates called overseers.
Military readiness overrode all other concerns in Sparta. The Spartan economy depended on conquering other people, and they did so with their superior battle strategies and well-trained warriors.
At age 7, as is customary in Sparta, the boy was taken from his mother and plunged into a world of violence. Manufactured by 300 years of Spartan warrior society to create the finest soldiers the world has ever known. The Agoge, as it's called, forces the boy to fight, starves them, forces them to steal, and if necessary, to kill.
The Spartans locked shields in a way that resembled the scales of a reptile. Behind the front line of shields and spears, the rest of the men were waiting to push the Spartans in front forward. The pushing motion counteracted the enemy's rushing forces and strengthened the wall of soldiers.
The Spartans wore a custom-made bronze breastplate. In addition to this body armor, Spartans wore helmets with horsehairs attached. These helmets were meant to intimidate and scare the enemy. The main weapon in the Spartan army was the hoplon shield and the spear.
The relationship between the established Spartan males and the new Spartan trainees was that of a sexual orientation. They would often engage in sexual actions in order to establish strong trust bonds and willingness to die for each other on the battlefield.
Adulthood in Sparta was reached at the age of 18. At the age of 20, men were eligible for military service, and at the age of 30, they were able to get married. Military duty lasted until the age of 60, although older ages have been recorded serving in times of peril. The economy of Sparta was largely dependent on the conquering of other city-states. Much of their slave labor came from the men and women that were conquered in said city-states. All of the everyday labor was done by women and slaves, seeing as the men spend their days in the barracks. status of women in Sparta are much like the men. They are also trained to be skilled fighters, trained to lie, kill, and fight. They are to help the men with cooking and work. Like most societies, the women did household chores.
According to Byzantine sources, some areas in the region of Laconia remained pagan until 10th century AD. Doric-speaking peoples still remain today in the area of Laconia. In the Middle Ages, the political and cultural center of Laconia relocated to nearby settlement of Maestros. Now, in 1843, by decree of the Greek king Otto, the modern nation of Sparta was refounded.
Oh, as you can see, Sparta, as a city-state, had a deep and rich cultural background. The people of Sparta lived very unique lives. They prospered and they suffered. They conquered, but they fell. Sparta was known for being the best warriors of all time.